Maharaj says your strength and my strength are coming from the same source.
Okay.
Hare Krishna devotees, that was Pranam. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Suvarna Gaurahari Prabhu, who will be sharing the nectar from Srimad Bhagavatam, canto number 5, sloka number, chapter number 5.
Hare Krishna. Should we begin?
I think I got disconnected. Prabhuji will be giving the nectar from Srimad Bhagavatam, canto number 7, chapter number 5, sloka number 5. We will have special classes for Narsimha especially. Prabhuji, over to you. Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, text number 5. This chapter is entitled Prahlad Maharaj, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu. So the shloka is like this. Shri Prahlado Vacha Tatsadhu Manye Suravarya Dehinam Sada Samudvigna Dhiyama Sadgrahat Hitvatmapatam Grahamandhakupam Vanam Gatoya Dharimashrayeta. Shri Prahlado Vacha, Prahlad Maharaj replied, Tat, that, sadhu, very good, or the best part of life, manye, I think. Asura Varya, O king of the Asuras, Dehinam, of persons who have accepted the material body, Sada, always, Samudvigna, full of anxieties, Dhyam, whose intelligence, Asadgrahat, because of accepting the temporary body or bodily relations as real, thinking I am this body and everything belonging to this body as mine. Hitva, giving up. Atmapatam, the place where spiritual culture or self-realization is stopped. Graham, the bodily concept of life or household life. Andhakupam, which is nothing but a blind well, where there is no water, but one nonetheless searches for water. Vanam, to the forest. Gataha, going. Yat, which Harim, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ashrayata, may take shelter of. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Prahlad Maharaj replied, O best of the Asuras, king of the demons, as far as I have learned from my spiritual master, any person who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest, Vana. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavana, where only Krishna consciousness is prevalent, and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. Hiranyakashipu thought that Prahlada, being nothing but a small boy with no actual experience, might reply with something pleasing but nothing practical. Prahlad Maharaj, however, being an exalted devotee, had acquired all the qualities of education. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatya kinchana sarvair gunaistatra samasate suraha harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna मनोरथेनासतो धावतो भैः. One who has unflinching devotional faith in Krishna consistently manifests all the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods. However, he who has no devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no good qualifications because he is engaged by mental concoction in material existence, which is the external feature of the Lord. So called educated philosophers and scientists who are simply on the mental platform cannot distinguish between what is actually Sat, eternal, and what is Asat, temporary. The Vedic injunction is Asato ma jyotirgama. Everyone should give up the platform of temporary existence and approach the eternal platform. The soul is eternal, and the topics concerning the eternal soul are actually knowledge. Elsewhere it is said, Apashyatam Atma Tattvam Griheshu Grahamedinam. Those who are attached to the bodily conception of life and who thus stick to life as a grihastha or householder on the platform of material enjoyment cannot see the welfare of the eternal soul. Prahlad Maharaj confirmed this by saying that if one wants success in life, he should immediately understand from the right sources what his self interest is and how he should mold his life in spiritual consciousness. One should understand himself to be part and parcel of Krishna and thus completely take shelter of his lotus feet for guaranteed spiritual success. Everyone in the material world is in the bodily conception, struggling hard for existence, life after life. Prahlad Maharaj therefore recommended that to stop this mental condition of repeated birth and death, one should go to the forest vana. In the Varnashram system, one first becomes a brahmachari, then a grahastha, a vanaprastha, and finally a sannyasi. Going to the forest means accepting vanaprastha life, which is between grahastha life and sannyas. As confirmed in the Vishnu Purana, Varnashramacharvata Purushena Parapuman Vishnu. By accepting the institution of Varna and Ashrama, one can very easily elevate himself to the platform of worshipping Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, if one remains in the bodily conception, one must rot within this mortal world, and his life will be a failure. Society must have divisions of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and for spiritual advancement, one must gradually develop as a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasi. Prahlad Maharaj recommended that his father accept vanaprastha life because as a grihastha he was becoming increasingly demoniac due to bodily attachment. Prahlad recommended to his father that accepting vanaprastha life would be better than going deeper and deeper into graham andhakupam, the blind well of life as a grihastha. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we therefore invite all the elderly persons of the world to come to Vrindavan and stay there in retired life, making advancement in spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Om Jnantimirandhasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणि विचाणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरत्तसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्र पातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। Hare Krishna. So I welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. So today we're discussing from 7th canto Srimad Bhagavatam about teachings of Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj, exalted devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Narasimhadeva, whose Narasimha Jayanti is just 2 days from now. So this theme has been selected from the 7th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. So we see that Prahlad Maharaj, although being in non-devotee association, being in a demoniac association, still he was able to practice his Krishna consciousness. He was constantly thinking of Krishna, not only thinking of Krishna, but he was also preaching about Krishna. The devotees of the Lord, they are fearless and they are compassionate. Prahlad Maharaj fearlessly and very compassionately, he was spreading the message of the Lord. His father, Hiranyakashipu, was a demon, although he was son of Kashyapa, and Diti is son of Brahmana. But because uh, he was conceived at a wrong time, a demon was born as a child, Kashyapa and Diti. And Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha started creating atrocities, troubling the devotees all over the universe, not just in a particular country or a locality, but all over the universe. There was trouble, there was chaos, and people were not allowed to perform any kind of pujas, yajnas, sacrifices. So he took full control of the universal affairs. Hiranyakashipu actually dethroned Indra and the Devatas and took control of everything in this world. All, even the wind, rain, sun, they were all under the control of Hiranyakashipu. So that much minutely he was controlling everything. So he also, to get this power, he performed puja. He performed austerities of the Lord Brahma. And then Lord Brahma, being pleased, he asked, "Well, what do you want?" Hiranyakashipu said, "I want immortality." But Brahmaji said, I am myself, I'm not immortal, so how can I make you immortal? So then Hiranyakashipu said, okay, if you can't make me immortal, then give me this benediction that should not be killed inside the home, outside the home, nor in the sky, nor on land, nor by a man or animal or by weapon. So living or dead weapons, I should not be able to be killed. So in this, he put several conditions. So he thought that he is very, very intelligent. Hiranyakashipu thought he is very intelligent, but this is demonic intelligence. This intelligence is, they are using it against the Supreme Lord. So, so the people who have good intelligence, but they are using that intelligence to make a plot against God, that is Hiranyakashipu mentality. Like Srila Prabhupada says in Ishopanishad that there are so many scientists, so many learned philosophers, but they are anti Krishna consciousness. They don't believe in God. They say God is dead. They say God doesn't exist. So such kind of intelligence is nothing but Hiranyakashipu mentality, because they are denying the existence of God. Hiranyakashipu also was wanting to kill Lord Vishnu and become the only controller of this universe. So that was his mentality. Asuram bhavam ashritaha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that 4 kinds of people do not come to me. Namam dushkrutino moda prapadyante naradhama maya aparta jnana asuram bhavam ashritaha. Asuram bhavam ashritaha. Demons like Hiranyakashipu, they want to kill the Lord and become the Lord. So that is demonic mentality. So Hiranyakashipu, after receiving this benediction, he came to his palace again, and then Prahlad was conceived before. So by the time Hiranyakashipu came, Prahlad was already born, and he was sent to the school, and he was sent to a very special university called Shukracharya's University, Gurukula, where the syllabus was very interesting. Right? How to cheat others, how to win over others, how to exploit others, right? Kutaniti, um, corruption, and so many things were being taught. So that was a regular syllabus which they were learning in the school. He is my friend, he is my enemy. So support your friends, kill your enemies. So all that kind of materialistic, demoniac education was being given in that school, and Prahlad was not at all interested in going to the school. So if you compare it to the modern world, so there are some few schools where we have observed that there is no talk of God, there is no prayers glorifying the Lord, there is no encouragement to practice personal spiritual practices. So such kind of schools or colleges, you can say, to be Hiranyakashipu's schools and colleges, where spirituality is not properly encouraged. In fact, in the garb of secularism, they say, "Oh, we are secular. We don't allow any religion." So secularism means actually you're supposed to give freedom to practice whatever religion you want. But here they're saying no, you can't practice any religion. So in this way, in Hiranyakashipu's school, Shukracharya's school, so this was a syllabus Prahlad was not interested, but still he was studying as an obligation because his father wanted him to study. So he was sitting there in the class and attending the classes and hearing what the teachers are teaching. And many other demonic friends were also there as his classmates, and they were also learning these topics. And they, being asuras, were liking these topics. But Prahlad, being a devotee, he did not like these topics because he liked the topics which he heard from Narada Muni. Narada Muni taught Prahlad Maharaj Bhagavata Dharma when he was in the womb, right? So, Kaumaram Acharit Pragnya Dharman Bhagavatani Durlabham Manusham Chanma Tadapi Adru Marthadam. Right? Prahlad Maharaj quotes this verse. So, all this he learned from Narada Muni. That since the age of 5, one should start practicing Bhagavata Dharma. But Prahlad was way ahead of it. He started practicing when he was in the womb. While in the womb, he was hearing Bhagavatam from Narada Muni, and that Bhagavatam entered his heart and touched him, and he became Krishna Graha Grihitatma. He became haunted by Krishna. Right? He was constantly thinking of Krishna, constantly remembering Krishna. So that was Prahlad Maharaj, an exalted personality. So when he was hearing Krishna Katha in the ashram of Narada Muni, mother was also hearing. But Mother Kayadu could not get benefit of hearing Bhagavatam because her mind was in anxiety. Samudvigna dhyam. Anybody who is in anxiety cannot pay attention to any subject matter. It can be Bhagavatam class or it can be college studies. So one has to be in a peaceful mind. Ashantasya kutaha sukam. If somebody is not peaceful, Shanta, how can he become happy? So Ashantasya kutaha sukam. So that's why Kayadu, although sitting with Narada Muni, could not get the benefit. But Prahlad in the womb, he was peacefully hearing. He had no worries because he was well protected in the womb, and then nicely he was absorbing. But Kayadu was always afraid that when Indra will come and then he'll again kill me or capture me. So that was anxiety. So when we come for Bhagavatam class, we should keep our anxieties out. Hmm. For example, people have anxiety of their office, deliveries, uh, a release is coming, so they have to work hard, or the milkman, or this or that. And so many worries or anxieties are there. So, but if one is hearing with anxieties, then mind will not be able to absorb it. So if we hear peaceful, with a peaceful state of mind, then mind can absorb all these topics. So after that, Prahlad learned everything in the womb. So when he was in the school of Shukracharya, Prahlad Maharaj was constantly remembering what he had learned in the womb. Right? So he was not interested in the subject taught by Shanda Amaraka, the teachers under Shukracharya. So one day, Hiranyakashipu called for Prahlad Maharaj and asked him a question. So before this year, this chapter, Prahlad is Hiranyakashipu, yeah. So the demons headed by Hiranyakashipu accepted Shukracharya as their priest for ritualistic ceremonies. Shukracharya's two sons, Shanda and Amarka, lived near Hiranyakashipu's palace. So these two were the expert teachers of Shukracharya, headmasters, and they used to teach all these subject matters. Prahlad Maharaj was already educated in devotional life. By whom? By Narada Muni. But when his father sent him to those two sons of Shukracharya to be educated, they accepted him at their school along with other sons of the Asuras. Asura Balakan. So there are many other admissions in the school. So Prahlad was also admitted. यत्र यत्र गुरुणा प्रोक्तं शुश्रुवे अनुपथा अनुपपाथ च न साधु मानसा मेने स्वप्रसाद गृहाश्रयम्. See, yeah, this verse is important. Nayatra guruna proktam shushruve anupapatha. So Prahlad certainly heard and recited the topics of politics and economics taught by his teachers, but he understood that political philosophy involves considering someone a friend and someone else an enemy, and thus he did not like it. Na sadhu manasa mene. Na sadhu mene. He did not like it. He did not approve it. Because these topics, which tell us to consider somebody as friend, swa, para, asadgraha ashrayam. Swapara means he is mine, he is my friend, he is my enemy. So that kind of consciousness, swapara. And then asadgraha ashrayam, by the bad philosophy, which was supported. So Prahlad Maharaj did not like this philosophy of me and you. Actually, he was in a equal vision. Pandita Samadarshanaha. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastine. Shuni Chaiva Shupake Cha Pandita Samadarshanaha. He saw a dog, he saw an elephant, he saw everybody with same vision, equal vision. But here teachers are teaching, oh, consider this country people as your enemies, this country people as your friends. So this kind of friends and enemies concept, when they were teaching, Prahlad did not like it because it was against his conscience, against his spiritual teachings. According to spiritual teaching, everybody is one. Everybody is essentially spiritual. And we are all part and parcel of God. So because we are part and parcel of God, we should like to serve each other, love each other, and see with equal vision. But Prahlad Maharaj, when he was taught about Swapara, he rejected it. Na sadhum manasameni. So one day, Hiranyashipu calls him, Beta, please come here. Ekada asurarat putram ankam aropya pandava. On one day, Asurarat, the king of the Asuras, Putram Ankam Aropya, keeping the child on his lap. Hey Pandava, Narada is telling to Yudhishthira Maharaj, Hey Pandava, Papracha Katyatam Vatsa Manyate Sadhu Yadbhavan. So Hiranyakashipu questioned Papracha, Hey Vatsa, hey my dear Prahlada, Katyatam, please tell me, what? Sadhu Manyate Yadbhavan, what is the best topic which you have learnt in the school? Right? According to you, please tell me what is the best topic. Hiranyakashipu did not ask his young son anything that would be very difficult for him to answer. Instead, he gave the boy a chance to plainly speak about whatever he thought might be best. Right? Whatever you feel is best, you tell. In the school, whatever you learned, you tell. Prahlada Maharaja, of course, being a perfect devotee, knew everything and could say what the best part of life is. In the Vedas, it is said, Yasmin Vijnatis Sarvam Evam Vijnatam Bhavati. Right? If one properly understands God, he can understand any subject matter very nicely. Because Prahlad Maharaj understood Krishna, Prahlad Maharaj knew every other subject matter nicely. Sometimes we have to challenge big scientists and philosophers, but by the grace of Krishna, we emerge successful. See, Prabhupada challenged Darwin, Prabhupada challenged atheistic philosophers, Prabhupada challenged Freud, philosophy. Many, there's one book Beyond and Beyond Illusion and Doubt. So Prabhupada takes every philosophy and puts questions for them and then also answers some questions regarding those philosophies. So Prabhupada said that he is able to defeat everyone. It is impossible, practically speaking, for ordinary men to challenge scientists or philosophers concerning genuine knowledge. But a devotee can challenge them because the best of everything is known to a devotee by the grace of Krishna. So by the grace of the Lord, everything is revealed to us. Tesham yavan kampartham aham jnanajam tam hanashayam atma bhavastu jnanadipena bhasvata. Lord is sitting in our heart, and within the heart, Lord gives knowledge by the lamp of knowledge and destroys the ignorance in the heart. So Prahlad Maharaj therefore knew the best of knowledge, and when his father inquired from him, Prahlad gave him that knowledge. Prahlad was able to solve the most difficult parts of problems because of his advanced Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he replied as follows. So then comes today's verse. It's a very important, very interesting verse. And Prahlad Maharaj, frankly, bluntly, he is telling to his father what is the best knowledge. Second to Prahlad, what he had learned from his guru Narada Muni was that, my dear father, if you are attached to anything temporary, you will be always be disturbed. Sada samudvigna dhyam asadgrahat. What is asadgraha? Asadgrahat means, asat means temporary, sat means permanent. So temporary means what? Anything which is material, that is temporary because it has a beginning and it has got an end. Because it has got beginning and end, it is temporary. Adi antavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. So material enjoyment has got a beginning and material enjoyment has got an end. Material world has got a beginning, material world has got an end. Our body has got a beginning, birthday, and our body has got an end, which is death day. Every building has got a manufacturing date, and every building one day will collapse. Every medicine has got a manufacture date, and every medicine has got expiry date. So nothing is permanent in this world. Everything is created and destroyed, created and destroyed. That's called asat. Asat means that which is temporary or illusory. So this material world appears to be real, but actually it is temporary. Tejo varimridam yatha vinimayo yatra sargo amrisha appears to be real. This world which is a combination of tejo varimridam. Tejo means fire, right? Vari means water, mrida means earth. Fire, water and earth. So these three combinations makes this entire world. And although these three combinations make the world appear very beautiful, but it is temporary. One day it will be destroyed. So Amrisha. Mrisha means false, Amrisha means truth. So appears to be truth. This world is not actually permanent, but actually it appears to be permanent, as if it is permanent. So that is the nature of this material world. So Prahlad Maharaj is telling, how can one be peaceful when he is attached to something which is temporary, which is impermanent, right? So all these material world items are called chala. Chala means that which is destroyed at certain point of time, or kshara, that which is destroyed gradually. So mind wants something which is permanent. The soul, actually, we want something which is permanent because we are permanent. Atma is permanent. But when the permanent Atma gets attracted to the temporary material beauties, temporary material engagement, attachments, then what happens? He is always disturbed. The disturbance naturally comes because it is fleeting. So Adi Antavanta Kaunteya Nateshu Ramate Buddhaha. So intelligent people, Buddhiman log, they will not engage in this temporary sense gratificatory materialistic activities. So this is the teaching of Prahlad Maharaj. To whom? to his father, Hiranyakashipu. My dear father, I am seeing that you are so much attached to material wealth and beauty. Right? Hiranya means gold. Kashipu means soft bed. One who is attached to gold, wealth, and soft bed means sex life. He is called Hiranyakashipu. And very interesting word is this. Hiranya means gold, Kashipu means soft bed. So one is attached to gold and sense gratifications. That's called. Um, he will be very much disturbed. That's called Samudvigna Dhyam Asadgrahat. Samudvigna. Udvigna means disturbed. Samudvigna means extremely disturbed. So people who are more attached to matter, they'll be more disturbed. People who are less attached to matter will be less disturbed. So, so when Prahlad Maharaj spoke this, Hiranyakashipu became very, very upset. He became very upset. That comes in the next verse. So, Tat Sadhu Manye, He Asuravarya, best among the Asuras. Asuravarya Dehinam, among people who are born in Asuric body, you are the best. And then Sada Samudvigna Dhyam, Asadgrahat. And the souls which are attached to matter, Asadgrahat, they are always disturbed. And you are also always disturbed. So that's why what you should do is Hitva, give up this family life. Because staying in family life, you're doing so many sinful activities. So I don't think it is safe for you to be here. So you go to the forest, Hitva, give up this. Now, actually, this is a very strong word for a child to speak to the father. My dear father, please go to the forest. So he got offended. Hiranyakashipu got offended. Hitva Atmapatam Grahamanda Kupam. This family life is called as Andha Kupam. Grahamanda Kupam. Actually, Andha Kupa is something very interesting concept. In the village side, generally there are some wells. So they dig the wells and they use the water from the wells. Sometimes it's in the fields. Some are in the boundary of the village, right? So in our childhood, when we used to go to the our villages, we used to see these wells. But some of the wells, over a period of time, become dried up. So they become dried up, and they actually get covered on the top by grass. So on the top there is grass, and the thick grass grows all around, and the well is no longer visible. The well gets covered up completely, and then some animals they come there, or some humans also they come for herding the sheep or herding the cows, and not knowing that there is a well, they slip and fall. And when they slip and fall, the well is very deep, so they are not able to come out. And even if they shout for help, nobody is able to hear them because it is so deep. The only destination for such a person is death. Gradually, out of starvation, they die in that kupa, andha kupa. So dark well, andha means dark, dark deep well, andha kupam. Similarly, family life, materialistic family life is compared to andha kupa. And in Bhagavatam, several places this word is used. Graham andha kupam. Sometimes family life is compared to a forest of material enjoyment. Sometimes it is considered to be a andhakupam, deep dark well. Because those who are in family life but not knowing the principles of Krishna consciousness, their life is like andhakupam. Because they get more and more entangled into family life. So it's a very interesting verse spoken by Rishabhadeva, how family life can be entangling. पुंसस्त्रिया मिथुनि भावमेतं तयोर्मितो हृदय ग्रंथिमाहुम अतः ग्रह क्षेत्र सुत आप्तवित्तैर जनस्य मोहोयम अहम ममेति. So it all starts with attraction. Pumsa striya, a boy and girl, man and woman, they come together, they get attracted to each other with mithuni bhavam. Mithuni bhavam means for sex life. Pumsastriya mituni bhava metam tayor mitho hriday granthi maho. So when they get married and they have sex life, then the heart gets knotted. There is a tight knot within the heart. So that's called hriday granthi. You can't see it externally, but inside the heart, that knot is there. So what is the meaning of that knot? His heart revolves around that family life. Okay, he's in office, he's thinking, oh, how is my wife doing? He is in another country, he's constantly daily calling, oh, how are you? How are you? So he may be in any part of the world, but the heart is in the family life. His wife, children, work, money, bank balance. This is where his consciousness is always going. So, Ata Graha Kshetra Suta Apta Vittair. Then what happens? He uh, takes a home and a job or a land for cultivation. That's called Kshetra. Graha Kshetra Suta. Then children come. And when children come, the family attachment becomes even more stronger. Right? Then Ata Graha Kshetra Suta Apta. Then relatives also increase. So once the children get married, then the in-laws and the in-laws, all relatives, and his marriage and his some ceremonies, you have to keep going, and then so entanglement increases further and further, so much so that one cannot come out of it. And he gets so entangled that even when we become 70 or 80 years old, he cannot come out of it. That's the meaning of andhakupam. Once he enters, he's gone. There's no way out. So this is applicable for a materialistic householder who doesn't know anything about Krishna consciousness. Janasya mohoyam aham mameti. This is me and this is mine. This kind of consciousness he develops. So that's why it is advised that one should take up vanaprastha life at a certain stage. Hitva atmapatam grahamandakupam vanam gataha is vanaprasthana. Gata means to do prasthan, to go. So vanam gato yad harim ashrameta. And in Vrindavan you take shelter of Lord Hari, Harim Ashrayata. So Vanaprastha life is being recommended here by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada himself accepted Vanaprastha around 1950s when Prabhupada wanted to preach in Jhansi. He left home. He didn't take sannyas, but he left home. You know this famous incidents of tea or me. So then wife said, I want tea. Then Prabhupada said, okay, keep tea, I'm going. Prabhupada never returned home because he knew that if I go back home, then again same old story. Right? Same quarrel, same disagreements. And I want to preach Krishna consciousness, but I'm not able to do it in family life. My guru ordered me, so let me go out. He came to Jhansi. Then he started to establish League of Devotees. And he went to Vrindavan and he started writing books there, rented out a home in Vrindavan, and he was staying there and doing his service. But gradually, after some time, he took sannyas and then he traveled to America for preaching. So Prabhupada also is teaching us that at a certain time one should leave home and then uh, leave home in the sense leave all family responsibilities and focus fully on one's self-development. One should practice his own spiritual life. To deliver oneself is more important than keeping others materially happy. How long can you keep others materially satisfied and happy? We cannot satisfy anybody, isn't it? It's very limited satisfaction one can give to others. So recently when I was traveling, one boy brought his father to me. He was a devotee boy. Father was not serious. He is a pious man, does puja and very hardworking. So, and then his father, this boy had told me, Prabhu, please tell something to my father so that he can start chanting and let him become serious in bhakti. So I said, okay, I'll bring him, then we'll talk. I said, then he brought, it is in some other town, North India. So when he brought, then I said, we started talking and then started exchanging our introductions and all. Then I said, so अब थोड़ा भगवान को भी टाइम दीजिए, please do some japa, please do some Bhagavad Gita reading. Then he said, प्रभु जी बहुत busy है, टाइम नहीं मिलता है, we are too busy, we don't get time. Acha, what do you do? Oh, morning 8 o'clock I open my cloth shop, and then night 10 o'clock I close, and I have 10 employees and I have to manage them, and so busy life is. So, and his cloth shop is the biggest cloth shop in the town. So he works really hard. I said, for whom are you doing all this? He said, बच्चों के लिए कर रहे हैं. He said, then I'm doing it for my family. Right? My sons are there, my daughter is there, and for them only I'm doing all these things. Then I asked him, okay, you're doing so much hard work, you're earning nice bank balance, you're saving it. Everything you're doing it for your children, but आप आपके लिए क्या कर रहे हो? I asked him. What are you doing for yourselves? Then he was taken aback by this question that what am I doing for myself? He thought a little bit. Then I said, yes, you're doing your duty as a father for everybody, but what are you doing for yourselves? You got all money, you have to leave and go. You build a big home, you leave it and go. Your children will enjoy it. It's very nice. Your children will very nicely enjoy it. They'll be very grateful to you. But what have you done for yourselves? So this question became very heavy. So then I said, see, whatever bhakti you do, that is for yourself. What you're chanting, what you're reading, what you're mala, puja you do, arti you do, that you are doing for yourself. That will save you. Neha vikramaashasti pratyavayana vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So even little bit bhakti you do, that will save you from great danger. And that punya will carry forward even in next lives. But whatever gross wealth you earn, that you have to leave it and go. And you're spending more than 12 hours of your valuable day only for that which you're going to leave and go. So do something for yourself. So then he was just little receptive. He said, yes, Prabhuji. So I gave him mala, then he took the mala and then he said, I'll chant. So next day morning he came with his son, Prabhuji, आइए हमारे दुकान में, come to my shop. I said, okay, I was about to leave that day. So I just went for 5 minutes. He took all around the shop, very big shop, and then above his home is there. And his wife and his all children, everybody was there. Then he said, Prabhuji, please, and we did some kirtan there. And then he was very grateful. And then we came back. So the point is that people remain very comfortable in their so-called materialistic dreams and materialistic world, just doing something which is not at all useful for their life. They're doing something good. They feel that they are doing something good, which is ordinarily good. Like, for example, taking care of children, elders, and parents, and all that's ordinary dharma, which has to be done. But along with that, if one is not doing spiritual activities, then that is andhakupam. But along with following the family responsibilities, doing the family responsibilities, following the dharma, if one can add Krishna consciousness, then that becomes something very valuable. Otherwise, it's andhakupam. But if one keeps Krishna in the center, and all family members, they chant, they read, they worship Krishna, they come to temple together, they serve Krishna together. So then they think of going back home, back to Godhead. Right? Then it becomes a God family. Otherwise, it becomes a materialistic family which drags on down to the uh, Prabhupada says here. Uh, so he uses a certain word. Yeah, so the hitva atmapatam. Atmapatam means that which degrades the soul. So only materialistic family relationship is atmapatam. It drags the soul down and down to the lower conditions of life. But if one practices Krishna consciousness in family life, then you will see that the whole family has a proper understanding that we are actually children of God and God is Krishna has brought us all together. So the purpose of us coming together is that we can help each other to progress in Krishna consciousness. So husband, wife, each other help each other in um, their own chanting, their reading, their pujas, and then they cooperate with each other in their family routine activities, and then children also attending some Krishna conscious classes. They are also taught how to do kirtan, how to do Nasimharti, Tulsi Arti, and like Prabhupada in childhood he used to worship. Seeing his father, he also used to worship. So in this way, gradually children also come to Krishna consciousness, and then the whole family becomes God family, and then together everybody goes back home, back to Godhead. So this is what Prahlad Maharaj is teaching here. So hitvatam patam graham indakupam vanam gataha, go to the forest, take vanaprastha life. Which vanam? Vrindavanam. Go to Vrindavan, where Hari is always staying. Ashraya, the take shelter of Lord Hari. So in the modern scenario in Kali Yuga, going to the forest may not be practical. First of all, people don't have habit of seeing a forest because they have lived their whole life in concrete jungle. So they don't know how to stay in the forest and survive. So it is suggested that one gives up his job, gives up his family responsibilities towards children and other things. So, and he gives full time for Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada at the last line he said, we invite all old men, elderly men from all over the world to come to Vrindavan and stay and practice Krishna consciousness. So we can say Prabhupada temples are Vrindavan. Prabhupada said, my temples are in Vaikunta. So one should come close to the temple and stay nearby, just walking distance. That's a practical solution for Vanaprasthas. So stay very close to the temple and take up some responsibility in the temple. So that's very engaging. Like his Radheshampur in Pune, he made a Vanaprastha forum. And when he started this forum, it started with 20, 25 devotees. I think there are 40, 50 devotees. And they come together regularly. And then they have taken up services in temple. Somebody stands in book counter, somebody stands in japa counter, somebody has service of Charanamrita distribution, somebody does some cleaning service, somebody takes care of some goshala, somebody takes care of. Like this Vanaprasthas because they have experience of life and they have time. So with that experience and then time, they're able to contribute very nicely in Krishna service. And they get prasads, they take prasad in the temple, temple provides prasadam for all the devotees who do service in the temple. And then they are able to contribute and then wonderful. Vanaprasthas are able to, they're able to engage. And till the end of their life, till the last breath, they can continue doing such services. They get a chance to hear Bhagavatam also. They get a chance to do Arti, Kirtan, right, as part of their service. And they also get to meet so many senior devotees, sannyasis who come there. And then they get association. So what happens that material attachments loosen gradually. And then attachment to Krishna develops strongly. So that's how the devotees who are in Grastha ashram should eventually plan. The planning should start somewhere around 45, so that by 50 or 55 one can wind up. Of course, it may be subjective to different devotees as per their situations in family life. But one should not make a plan to stay till the last breath, working hard, going to office, and not having time for Krishna consciousness. I know some devotees who are making a retirement plan. Now they are in their 35, 36. One devotee is telling, probably maximum 45, I'll be quitting. So it's easy to say, but difficult to do. So, but one should have a nice planning, financial planning. One should have a nice family planning also of children's future. So then one can take this step. Otherwise, it may be difficult. One may end up working till 70 years also. So, so Prahlad Maharaj is giving very, very mature instruction to his father Hiranyakashipu that you please give up this material attachment to family life and go to the forest and take shelter of Lord Hari. And hearing this, Hiranyakashipu becomes wild. He says, this is unacceptable. Who has spoiled my son's intelligence? When Prahlad spoke about the path of self-realization in devotional service, thus being faithful to the camp of his father's enemies, Hiranyakashipu, the king of demons, heard Prahlad's words and laughingly said, thus, in the intelligence of children, is the intelligence of children spoiled by the words of my enemy? So Hiranyakashipu was telling, koi Shatru aa raha hai, Shatru is coming into our school and spoiling my son's intelligence. Oh, Shandamarga, be careful. Do not allow anybody to. Hiranyakashipu advises, my dear demons, give complete protection to this boy at the Gurukula. where he is instructed, so that his intelligence will not be further influenced by Vaishnavas who may go there in disguise. Hare Krishna. So in this Hiranyakashipu orders and Shandamarka take Prahlad back, and they again try to brainwash him by teaching all materialistic things, but Prahlad was not interested. Next time when Hiranyakashipu asks, please tell me what your teachers taught, then Prahlad says, Sharanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasyam. He becomes even more wild. Then he gives the order, kill him! He is not worth living. He is like a um, thorny bush in the sandalwood forest of Asuras. Asuras Kula is like sandalwood forest, and this Prahlad is like the Kantakadruma. He is like a thorny bush. And using that thorny bush, Lord Vishnu will make an axe and then cut off all the chandan. So better let us kill this thorny bush, kill Prahlad. And Prahlad was never to be killed. And then he again was sent back to Gurukula. And then in Gurukul, uh, he starts teaching to his friends. And everybody starts chanting Hare Krishna. Then again Shandamar comes and said, this is too much. He has become a headache. He is spoiling everybody. Then Hiranyakashipu was, from where are you getting this confidence, Prahlad? So same place from where you are getting. So that verse will be discussed tomorrow. I'll pause here. So today we discussed the story of Hiranyakashipu, his mentality and Prahlad's devotion, and specifically focusing on Prahlad's instruction to Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad's talk with Hiranyakashipu, we can't say instruction. And he requested him to go to the forest, and Hiranyakashipu did not like it. Hare Krishna. So I open for any comments or questions.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful summary and especially for householders, how we should be planning our life so that we can spend quality time uh, when we are done with our family responsibilities. Thank you, Prabhuji. I would request the devotees to unmute their mic and share their questions.
Is any questions or comments?
Devotees were able to unmute the mic.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Danatna Prabhu, thank you for the wonderful class. Person is at about 45 and above, look for a vanaprastha by settling down the family. But it's a bit, literally, it's thinking to very hard to come and think about it. What is a point you can suggest, Prabhu? If a person works, live in Bangalore, how do we proceed towards that vanaprastha path?
Yeah,
Will
generally
temple
those
give
who,
some accommodation, a temple give some support, because we are living 14 to 15 kilometers from their temple. So leaving the temple and coming to there is quite 1.5 hours travel from my house to that place. What is the path we can take, Prabhu, to reach that level of vanaprastha?
Yeah. So generally, if somebody comes to Krishna consciousness early in life, then it is possible to plan in this way.
Okay.
Like many of our youth boys, we suggest them try to get married early by 25, 26. So then by the time they are 45
Okay.
or 50, then it is possible to retire. But those who come to Krishna conscious late, they come in their 30, 35 or 40 years when they come to Krishna consciousness. So they didn't get a chance actually.
Yeah.
To plan or do things properly. Right? In the Vedic tradition, it was quite systematic. Since childhood only, they used to be taught, okay, this is Grahastha life, this is Vanaprastha life, Brahmachari Grahastha Vanaprastha life. But now that education is lacking, so people don't know. And people think retirement age is 60, so 60 tak kaam karenge, and then after 60 also we'll do some part-time.
Yes.
I know one of my uncles, after 16, he quit, then he's doing some part-time somewhere as a consultant, still earning money. So that doesn't go away actually. So, but that proper orientation and training has to be there, because people think after 60, what I will do? If I do nothing, then I'll be considered useless in the society.
Yeah, that is a concept people have in their mind.
Yeah, and they don't want to be useless in the society. They want to be recognized and contributing. Yes, one can contribute in Krishna conscious way. right? Take up preaching, take up services, or each Vanaprastha couple, husband and wife, they can go to one area, start a center, start preaching, get more people, get funds, build a temple. So I've seen such people who are dedicated and are trying to build a community because they have experience and they have preaching skills and they are also able to make communities.
Great.
Or one can stay in temple and do services like our Vitthal Karana Prabhu is there in temple. He's staying since many years and is just doing service. So a proper retirement plan can be made so that he can. So if somebody is very far, then he can see, okay, if it is traveling is a concern, then one can rent out a room nearby temple, or one can, a husband and wife should together decide how they can serve together. Vanaprastha means they can stay together.
Together.
Husband and wife together, they can serve. Mataji can take up some service and Prabhuji can take up some other service. Or they can take up together some service. Like they can teach also. No? Vanaprasthas are good teachers. They can teach to kids. They can guide young couples. They can guide young youths and young girls, unmarried boys and girls. So some any kind of service which is suitable that can be taken and then you can go on. Yes.
Yes, thanks for a wonderful suggestion, Prabhu. We'll try to devise the plan for us. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
So for everybody, the plan will be customized, different, because every case is different.
Yeah.
You can consult, you can talk to Narari Chaitanya Prabhu, senior devotees.
Yes,
Rukmini Ranga Krishna Prabhu is there, right? Or Prasannatha Prabhu is there. There are like many examples we have in our community. Right? Narari Chaitanya Prabhu, Murali Murari Prabhu, Prasannatha Prabhu. And then there is our Rukmini Ranga Krishna Prabhu. Many who have left, they're almost done with their material duties and they're completely taking up services in the temple. Like that.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for a suggestion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees, any other questions, comments before we end the session?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Regarding our family, Prabhu, my Prabhu 72, I am 70, and we are put up 4 kilometers from the temple. And I am able to take some services and waiting for the initiation. And my Prabhu is doing 8 rounds chanting and deity worship. He is doing very nicely. Slowly is progressing, Prabhu. So because we are already 70, we're Vanaprastha, and another 3 years, my husband sannyasa also he has enters. So now anyhow we have come to Krishna consciousness, and coming still closer to the temple, he is not willing. And 4 kilometers, it's okay. We will travel by car or auto and go to the temple and do services. I think that's okay, no, Prabhu?
Yeah, that's okay. 4 kilometers is not far.
Yes, Prabhu.
Narayana Chaitanya comes all the way 13 kilometers from Delhi. So that's okay. 4 kilometers hardly, 15 minutes can come.
Yes, Prabhu.
But one can take up some sevas in that temple. So
Yes.
it keeps you busy and it also absorbs your mind in Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Right. We can also spend like evenings. We
Yes,
need
Prabhu.
devotees in the evenings, especially 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Many visitors come in the temple. So
Yes.
one can talk with them, one can make them chant. Malas are there in the temple, you can give them malas. You can do kirtan also for the pleasure of Lord. Kirtan doesn't mean there should be mic and Vardhan Karda, all 10 people sitting. For the pleasure of the Lord, one can sing in the temple hall. So I want to say that in temple hall, daily evening kirtan happens, especially from Gaurahari till Ratri Arti, so 8:30. So some 2 devotees sitting and doing nice melodious kirtan for the pleasure of the Lord.
Yes.
So one can take up services as per one's nature. Opportunities are there. You can discuss with us.
Yes.
We can create opportunities so you can engage. Yes.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Sankarshan. Priya Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you very much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class and practical insight on how we can actually engage ourselves as we, progress with our age and doing away with our material responsibility. Thank you, Prabhuji. We will end today's session with the
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील गुरुपाद की जय, श्रीमद्भागवत पुराण की जय।
Lord.
हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Gaurahari.